Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Christian from Berlin, and the embellishments I'm going to teach you today will go far beyond what you already know from classical embellishments. They will provide flow to your melody, elegance, style, and sometimes even a small bluesy kick. I hope you enjoy this. Let's go! As a first example, I chose a couple of bars from Moon River. Yes, I know. Some of you remember that from my very first cocktail piano tutorial. Why did I choose it again? Well, many of you are familiar with it. Many generations know it. The melody is just perfect. It has a lot of space around to show you the embellishments. And I never dealt with the topic of the melody. What other topics are there? You know, like arpeggi, fills and stuff, arpeggios, voicings in the left hand. I did a lot on that in my bar piano course, which is free at all parts. It's all linked under the video. So please understand that today we'll just focus on what we can do to bring the melody alive and, you know, make it sumptuous, luxurious, musical. Okay, before I show you my golden dirty tricks, let's quickly recall standard ways of embellishment coming from classical piano, which you might know already. So let's quickly record the bread and butter. So we have, of course, it's called a mordent, which you can also use. Just a brief up or brief down. So then we have the trill, for example. So this you can of course use, but you know, we are better than classical piano. What did they know about bar piano style? So what I started with was this one, you know, first two melody notes, G and D, and I started with this. And this is what I used all the time. As many of you know, I've been a professional bar pianist for 30 years, so I'm quite at home here. Melody note, but we are sneaking towards the melody note, you know, giving it, adding flow and a little bit of sugary glazing to the piece. How did I approach the G? Very simple, with a chromatic little run of 3 notes before. Chromatic. And it always works. Chromatic always works. You can do a long chromatic run, like 3 notes. If you have less time, you take 2 notes. You can take even 5 or 6 notes if you have the time and the technique. So, here I did basically the same, approaching the melody note. Ending with a slip note. I come to that in a second. So again, approaching from the left. This time it's not chromatic, like here, but with the diatonic scale. In this case, C. We are in C, so you use the notes of C major. I'm sorry. I like to think of, you know, the melody or what you play as little creatures, you know. Imagine it has a soul. So in this case, why not imagine the melody or the line is a little cat. I'll show you why I use this example. I know sometimes my examples are a little overboard, but because you can stealth towards the G like a cat would, like, you know, hesitant a little bit, because that's what we want in this style. And then you can have a greedy cat. This is a piece, imagine the G is a piece of chicken, you know, it jumps straight for it. But here, it's like sneaking slowly, hesitating, and now I got it. No, it's not a cartoon channel, but I want to fill it with soul and imagine these to be little creatures that can, you can stretch it. And that's what we want in bar piano. Sometimes delay a little bit to stretch the timing. I often call that chewing gum timing. Don't give chewing gum to cats, they might die. Here, I'm overdoing it a little bit, but I guess you know what I mean. But now, look at this. What was that? Yeah, this time we circle the target note. Again, we don't rest on it immediately, but embellish it going right, left, and then hit it. There's something like it. It has a complicated Italian name, just doing this. But hey, we improve on Mozart and do, it's called a double hit or something. We do this, circling the target note. Da, 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 dum. Then we have, what is that? Cat on a hot tin roof is my metaphor here. We come from here, and now melody is. And now listen carefully, it's very important. It's a great, wonderful trick. Sounds like $1,000,000, and it's really easy to learn. Of course, we have the melody, and now we insert always. We are on F, and now you choose a chord note from F. In this case, we choose C, and insert it between the melody notes. Isn't that just very charming? Again, here, while cat on a hot tin roof, it's just tiptoeing, it's so hot. Little metaphors help to remember it. Okay. Again, we come from F, and now melody note, and we always insert a C. Okay, I show you how universal this is. All of it is universal. It's just an example song. In the near future, maybe directly after this tutorial, I want you to try it on songs of your own choice. Here, melody note is of course Love Me Tender. And I just chord note, we're on G. Chord note is A. Chord is A, sorry. Chord is D7, so chord note of D. You see? Sounds sweet, no? Yeah, it's a little catty. Okay, just a little excursion to give you another example. Now, back to Moon River. That would be fills. I'm just tempting you to have a look at the other parts. Now, melody note. We have a slide note, and that is a blues technique. Yeah, it's a grace note if you want to, like in classical. But here we really don't want to play it clean, but really swipe it down, not like a Mozart pianist would do, like. But. And then E coming up, next melody note, last melody note. But here, even on the E, you could try some of the other stuff you learned already, like approaching it chromatically, or with a little circle, like. Now, something that is, I'll show you what I mean. It's a beautiful sound. Also, look at this, listen to this. Where am I? We are again beginning, and now look what I did. Yeah. I play the, going up to the melody note like before, the diatonic approach to the D, to the next note, but now I do it in dissolved octaves, and it sounds so expensive and so 5-star. Yeah. Yeah. You can first try it in just playing in octaves without dissolving them. Already is a good start. So, now you just dissolve the octaves. Same. Can you hear the luxury? Can you hear the money? Oh. And so on. Chromatic approach in octaves. Oh, yeah. It's really so simple. Yeah? And so on. Because now we are trying to apply this to a completely different piece. Well, all my YouTube tutorials are of course free, even the long courses. But I do sell sheet music in order to make a living. But the special thing about my sheet music is everything comes with video. So you can work along the video together with sheet music, which makes it much easier. You can even listen and watch what I play before you buy anything. You can check out if you like it. So I believe that's very unique for my sheet music. And it ranges from songs from blues to pop, bar piano, blues, gospel, everything you fancy is there. Have a look at christianssheetmusic.com, and you also support my channel if you buy something. Thank you. So, completely different piece, completely different character. Let's first, before I show you the new stuff, see if we can use what we learned in the previous chapter. Let's say, A and G, first melody note, A and G. And of course we can use here chromatic or our double turn, circling, it all works wonderfully here too. Now, but you saw me do something else. Well, first, melody note, is standing in the middle of nowhere, A and G, and then there is a long nothingness. Now, you can bridge this nothingness with a fill, of course. which we don't do now, different chapter. Go to my blues piano course, but I use a different method here, and not blues piano course, bar piano course. I sustained it by tremolo, playing the melody note as an octave, playing a little tremolo on top to sustain it. Creates a little bit of atmosphere. And then you saw me do something completely new. Again, Angel. And now, next melody note is, or two is, you can be quite happy, quite fortunate that I don't sing this. Angel. I did. Now look at this. What is this, Christian? Magician Christian from Berlin. Melody note, and I approached the melody note, and I played a note on top of it. Let's first look how I approach it. It's the blues scale. A minor blues scale is this. So sometimes you can even approach the note not just chromatically or with the regular scale, diatonically, but with the blues scale here. These are the first notes of the A minor blues scale. And I did something on top that might interest you. On top of this approach of the blues cat, I played the A. On top. Gives it, provides emotion, intensity. That's what we want. So in this case, and now I reach the melody note here. Now melody note D. I keep this on top, just playing the root note on top. And now I did something else. Next melody note is the D. And this D I approach from the top this time, also with the blues scale. Again, A, G. Now, here we are. It feels almost like a fill, but since it's directly connected to the melody note, I would say it's a long embellishment. And it's the blues scale notes of A minor. Look at this. Boop, bop, bop. Hit it. And here we go. Yeah, a cat is coming from the cupboard now. Blues cat. Jumping from the top. And here we go. Piece of chicken on D. Now. And again, we can use our old stuff. Maybe even a slip note. And here we go. Now, when can you apply which? You have to decide it on the spot which sounds good. Use your ears as always. Let's see. I take what's an A minor? What is simple? Lionel Kitschy. Hello. Haven't played it for a while, sorry. Now look at this. Again. And look at this. Melody note is this one. Blues scale approach. It's an A minor too, same notes as in Angie, or from the top. Circling it with the blues scale. The world was a beautiful place then, 80s. How did it go? Sorry, lost. I hope you learned something today. Please try it on your favorite pieces. I say bye-bye from Germany. Have a wonderful day. Subscribe if you like my stupid metaphors. And have a wonderful rest of your week.